We are off and running. Looks like the market is opening up rather strongly this morning. It doesn't always necessarily translate into an automatic long scenario. Just because the market's opening up strong does not mean that we only look for long opportunities. Sometimes the strong gap ups often are exhaustive in nature and lead to some of the best shorting opportunities out there. We just have to wait and see. As many of you should already know, if you've been watching my work for a bit here, you know that I train my traders to let the first 2 minutes or so of the market activity go by without much activity, without many decisions being made, without any decisions being made for that matter. Now, I will tend to jump the gun on that 2 minutes if I see something form of great certainty. If I don't, I am typically allowing at least that first 2 minutes to get out of the way. We are looking for the path of least resistance to reveal itself. Which direction does the market appear to want to travel in a fashion that is the easiest? So far, that appears to be up. So far, that appears to be up. All right, 2 minutes is done here. And you know what? I'm going to go long. Let's see how this works. Okay, I tried for 2,000 shares. I'm off by 1,000. Okay, this is a rather light position for me. 2,000 shares is on the light side. 5 to 8,000 shares is on the medium side or so. 5, 8, 10, medium. 500 to 2 or 3,000 shares is on the light side. $20,000 to 30,000 shares pushes the heavy side. A lot of traders ask, well, Oliver, how do you know if you're going to go into a play heavy or medium or light? And in truth, I don't know. A lot depends on what the stock does. The stock, in a way, and its movements, they dictate what type of play it's going to be. So for instance, if Apple moves against me initially, it will tend to compel a bigger play. If it goes in my desired direction, immediately I've got 2,400 shares. It's going to be a small play. It's the stocks. It's the stock and its movements after my initial entry that determines whether it's going to be a light, medium, or heavy play. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip through the other stocks on my list just to get a feel for what they're doing. Many stocks are falling after their gaps, you see? We're looking for the common theme of what's happening to the vast majority of my stocks. I'm not necessarily looking for another play. If something grabs me, of course, I might take a shot at it. But for the most part, I'm looking for that common denominator, that common theme that seems to be happening. So we're gapping and crapping That's the common theme right now. Okay? Gap up, drop. Gap up, drop. All right? That's the common theme. So that's what we're going to expect from our Apple play here. And I will use the drop to build a position. The drop, the assumption is that this drop is going to be temporary. The gap up is strong. The drop should, in most cases, bring in fresh new buyers at some point to lift it back to the upside. Here's where I'll start to nibble a little bit more. I'm bidding for stock underneath the market at this particular point. I'm bidding in the low 90s. I picked up a few extra shares. Bidding for more in the low 90s, in the low 115.90s. There we go. All right, I've picked up more there. Up to 4,800 shares. Now I'll look to pick up some in the 70s. If we get there. The $64,000 question as it relates to trading is, when is a decline to be trusted as real? When is a decline problematic versus when is a decline, here we go, now I'm bidding in the 70s. When is a decline a gift? A temporary phenomenon? When is a decline likely to be an opportunity to build your position versus an opportunity or signal to run for the hills, to get away, to abort? And if a trader develops the ability to get the answer to that $64,000 question correct more often than not, he or she is bound to be extraordinarily profitable as a trader. That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal in trading, is to be able to answer that question correctly more often than not. It'll never be answered correctly 100% of the time. Nothing will be answered correctly or gotten right 100% of the time. But as long as you can get the answer to that $64,000 question right more often than not, you're in this game forever, and in a very, very profitable way. So my last buys took place in the mid to low 70s. Okay, I picked those up. I am currently 20 cents from break even. I focus more on this number than my actual P&L. I am not a P&L trader. I train my traders not to be influenced by the P&L. If there is a number that you're going to be more influenced by, is to be influenced by the pennies that you are either in the money or out of the money. You do not want this number to get terribly out of control. Apple can move 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents in a heartbeat. So you want to stay within that range. Once you start to get 70 and 80 and 90 cents out of the money, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. So we picked up some shares around 116 even, some in the 90s, and some in the 70s. So far we're doing okay. I am willing to pyramid into the play all the way down to its prior day's close, which is represented by this dashed line. Now let me get rid of this show crosshairs here. I like that. Well, here we go. I'm moving above the 116 mark, and I might go for a few more shares here. I don't mind doing that. I'd like to bring this up to about 10,000 shares if I can. Right, here we go. Now we're back in the green here. Now I'm going to start shelling some out for sale in the 20s. I'd like to be able to shell some out in the 20s. All right, here we go. I'm going to start offering some shares out in the low 20s. You can hear my hotkeys there, right? Come to Pama. Down to 8,900. That's nothing. I sold a couple hundred shares here. All right, I need to get up there just a little bit higher. I want Apple to move into my sell orders, my pre-placed sell orders. In the very high 20s. Needs to push a little higher. Watch my share size here. If we get there, we may have to do another round on the downside here. We'll see. And that's how you quickly make $1,600 inside of 14 minutes of trading.